Hello and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be working on separate black and white balls. And in this one there's n balls on a table and each one is black or white, and you're given a string of length n where 1 and 0 represents those, and so you can choose to swap any two in one move that are adjacent. And you want to return the minimum number of steps to group all the black balls on the right and the white ones on the left. So in this first example, basically the string you're trying to get at the end is 0 and 1, so all the black ones on the right. And the way to do that in one move is just move this here, swap like that. So in one move you can do that. And here you want this one over here, so you're going to need to do two swaps. Yeah. And then basically in this problem you kind of need to realize like what's the best strategy to move things around to give you the best thing. So let's just make an array. And instead of having like two types of balls, I'll just have balls and like nothing. And then we can just move them because it's the same thing, right? Like if I want to move this over here, I have to move it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And basically nothing will represent like the white one. So we're trying to get all the green ones to the end. So if I have something like this, I think this makes it a little bit clearer. Like, what's the best strategy to get all of these to the end? And so I think it actually... yeah. So basically, because you're doing swaps, like let's say I move this one over here. That's going to be problematic because if you move that one, what's going to happen here is you move it like, let's actually make them different colors to make it easier to see. So let's say we have like this color and another one and another one. Okay. So if I, let's do this one. Okay, so if I'm trying to move this to the end, like if that's my strategy, I'm gonna be like, it doesn't really matter which one I get there. Like maybe I'll just move this one to the end. The problem is you're gonna move it here, and then you're gonna do a swap. So you're gonna like move this here and move this here. So with this strategy, and then you're gonna move this up again, and then you're gonna do another swap. So with this strategy, your blue and green one actually took a step back. And so that's not efficient. So the most efficient strategy is where you move balls in a way where none of the black ones ever move back. So you're always moving the black ones up. And how do you guarantee that you're always moving the black ones up? You can just move the right one up first. So we're going to take the rightmost one, put it here. Then the next one, put it here. Then the next one, put it here. And that's pretty easy to calculate because all we have to do is just like, we're going to have a pointer of like a location to put a ball. So we'll start here. And then all we have to do is traverse, so we can have another pointer, traverse backwards, and just anytime we find one of these black balls, say, how far does it have to go? And then move this pointer. So basically here, there's nothing, 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 nothing. Now this has to go 3, so we'll write down, like, we move that 3. Now this is occupied, so we move this here, and then we keep going. And here we found another one, so how far does it have to go? It has to move 4. So... yeah, and then this is occupied, so we move that. And then here, this has to go 4. And so the total these have to move is 11, if I did that correctly. So let's just go back to make sure. Okay, I think this was the thing, if I remember correctly. So let's see. This is 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I didn't do that strategy, if I did some flip, like let's say I move this one first, then this one would move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it would have swapped with this, and then this would have to move 3, and then this would have to move 4, and so that would be bigger, right? That would be 12. So that's kind of the idea. We're just taking the rightmost one and moving it first, and then all we need is like a right from and a right to pointer, so it's basically like, you know, move every number into the rightmost square, which is like an easy problem once you realize that's kind of the strategy. So that's all you really have to do is just have a pointer of where you're putting it and then which one you're on. And that's literally it. Yeah, and then we just record the distance every single time. So let's code that solution. So we'll have result, we'll have like a location or something where we need to place the ball. So location, and we'll say this is like... Or we can call this like the right pointer if we want to. Same thing. So this is going to be the last location in the string. And then we're just going to traverse backwards. So for int the left pointer, it'll start at the last location in the string and go all the way to the beginning backwards. Then we just have to say if s character at I, or left, equals the black one, 1, then we have to take this difference and then we have to move the right pointer to the left. So we'll say result plus equals right minus left. You don't have to do right minus left plus 1 or anything because you're moving from here to here. So this distance is just right minus left. It's not like how many numbers are in here, just how many do I have to move. So it's going to be right minus left. And then you can do, yeah. And then we just move our right pointer to the left one. And that's it. So, yeah. Let's see what error we get, I guess. Cannot find symbol. Oh, it's because I called it L and I. Okay, so left. All right. Ooh. Okay, so we're getting overflow. So I guess we just, oh, yeah, it returns along. Okay, so let's see if we get that fixed. Might need to make this along. Okay, good. Okay, so yeah, pretty much all there is to it. Not a tough one, but kind of an interesting one where like you have to recognize this pattern, like what's the best way to move things. So there's a lot of problems like this where like if you recognize a pattern, it's a pretty easy problem, but you know, maybe you don't recognize a pattern. And then if you don't recognize the pattern, then it's like, well, what's all the possible ways I can move the ball? Then that gets really hard, right? Because, you know, there's like a bunch of things you can do. But once you recognize the pattern, like I need to move, the most efficient way to move things is to never move backwards. And how do I guarantee never moving backwards? Always move the right one first. Yeah. So this is the length of the string and of 1. Yeah, so hopefully this is helpful. If it was, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.